Hello, everyone, and welcome to another inspiring episode. I am your host, Rafia Tariq. Today, we are delighted to welcome Jana. Jana taught Rehan School, particularly with interviews and communication, and has professional experience in IT, paragliding manufacturing, and telecommunications. Thank you so much for joining us, Jana. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Hello, Afia, and yes, thank you very much for the invitation. Pleasure is mine. Looking forward to our interview.
Thank you so much. Miss, could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
You mentioned some of the facts. I can add some details. I live in Slovakia, small country in Europe. It's part of European Union. It's former Czechoslovakia. And I studied travel management of travel agencies at Hotel Academy in a small spa town in Slovakia a long time ago because I'm 50. So the reason why I chose management of travel agencies was probably because I wanted to travel. I wanted to see different countries and different, you know, sites. Squares, monuments, nature. So I wanted to travel a lot. I thought that that profession would give me opportunity to travel. However, after studies, I moved to Czech Republic and I stayed there for 20 years. I was working in IT company for a short time in administration, and then for the rest of the time, almost 20 years in paragliding manufacturing company, which we had with my now ex-husband. After 20 years, I moved back to Slovakia because my parents needed some medical care while I was here. I was working for telecommunication company. It was remote job. And also for 11 years almost, I help Rehan Foundation and Rehan School nowadays more and more. So that would be a little introduction of me, of mine.
Very interesting. Uh, what inspired you to work in such diverse industries like IT, paragliding, manufacturing, and telecommunications?
There was no inspiration, to be honest. It just, happened like that. There was no thinking or choice really. It just there was this opportunity, so I took it. IT company was my first official job, so I didn't want to be. I didn't want to, there were a lot of changes in my life. I had to change the city, move to another city, another state, different people around me. I didn't know anyone, so I was thinking that I will stay in whatever job was there, and I will see later. And later, with my ex-husband, we started this company. He was having paragliding school, and we started manufacturing paragliders. So these changes just came, along, and there was like no inspiration much. There was just this opportunity, and I just went along.
Okay, Miss, my next question is how did you become involved with Rehan School?
Why I got involved in Rehan School? Well, it was also like a slow process. I met Rehan Alahwala on Facebook, and when you become friends with Rehan Alahwala, there is this plenty of people coming to your profile and wanting to be friends, and this is something unexpected, and and weird, and many people react like that. Why these people are coming to my profile? What happened? Well, you became friends with Jana on Facebook. And why is that? I learned afterwards that there was this project experiment, 500 mutual friends experiment under the umbrella of Rehan Foundation. And the incentive was to get a laptop when you steal 500 mutual friends from Rehan's friend list on Facebook. And like the whole point was to get people to talk more to each other. And when people don't talk, when people talk, they don't fight, right? They learn about themselves. They figure out that, okay, these people out there are just the same people as we are here. And enemies is just politics and media, maybe. So it was amazing project, and many people participating in that project were saying that in the end they just didn't need the laptop anymore because the benefits they got were much more impressive. Like it's not easy to become friends on Facebook because people just don't accept any stranger. They first want to know you, so there is a lot of communication happening. You need to introduce yourself, right, when you contact someone. So you learn how to communicate with strangers. You need to be interested in their life a little bit to feel connected and to actually accept that friend request. So there was a lot of communication. People get better in it. People get better in English skills, language. Language is what helps us to understand each other. So there were a lot of learning, and that was actually the purpose of that experiment. So I just, slowly got to know more about other projects as well under Rehan Foundation. And eventually Rehan School was founded, and I was watching first students to take interviews, and it was kind of funny because they didn't understand a word in English, and they were doing interviews. So it was really fascinating to watch, to follow that. And yeah, it took some time, but I was mostly in the background, helping in the background. But this year I started to be more involved in the school online academy classes and in interviews. So it was a kind of very like fluent process.
Miss, what are your main responsibilities in supporting interviews and communication?
Well, students at Brown School, they learn by practicing, right? Interviews are not just like set of questions you ask. It requires a lot of communication beforehand. You need to introduce yourself to a guest. You need to get the guest on the interview. Not many times, they just want to accept the interview. And so you need to show that you have some interest in that person and their work, and you need to research about that person on internet. I'm not saying that many students at Round School are expert in it, but they are still very young kids. Some of them are like 6-10 years old. So of course we don't expect of them to be perfect podcasters in the beginning. So of course there is a lot of learning, like they learn how to introduce themselves, how to set up the studio. So they need to be skilled in these digital tools, how to use the studio audio, camera setup. What else? Then the interview, then itself, right? So asking right questions and listening. Listening is underestimated, right? It's not just they will ask questions. They need to listen. They need to come up with follow-up questions so that interview is more deep um, and conversational. So it feels genuine and honest. And of course, afterwards, after the interview, thanking guests properly, and then there is this whole social media publishing, writing, right description, editing the video, the interview video many times. Because they encounter internet issues, so they need to edit the video afterwards. And of course, making posters, cover images, thumbnails, and work with social media publishing. So they need to learn also about social media and how to work, how to use it wisely. So we say interviews and we think it's just easy, but there's a lot of things to learn.
Okay, Miss, I want to ask, in your opinion, how much important is traditional education? As you said that some childs or some people don't know English, but they try to ask as they didn't understand the meaning of the questions. So,
Hmm.
in your opinion, what role does traditional study play in this?
Well, we all know that this traditional education system was built to create more knowledgeable, literate workforce, right? To actually create workforce that is qualified for working in factories. So. Uh, of course, it created system where most of people are educated. Like in my country, for example, there is, I think, 99% literacy. In Pakistan, it might be only 60%. But um, with artificial intelligence coming, it's difficult to predict what awaits us, not just in 10 years, but in like 5 years or even 3 years. And the predictions are terrible, and nobody knows how bad the future will be, and nobody knows how to actually prepare for it. Many people say that you need to be flexible, you need to be problem solver, you need to know how to work with artificial intelligence, how to understand it, how to control it, how to control people developing it. Um, so there are many views and that the traditional education is like obsolete, right? And yeah, we have information like 20 years ago, Sir Ken Robinson was telling that traditional schools are killing kids' curiosity. Well, I experienced that at school, but also from these neurological, biological reasons, to be flexible and to know how to work with information, how to recognize which information is false, which one is misinformation, which one is disinformation, what is propaganda, how to work with information, how to evaluate it. In order to do that, to be able to know how to work with it, you already need to have some information in your brain, right? You need to have some software, you need to have some basic knowledge. So I don't say that traditional schools are like totally obsolete. These students, these kids still need to have some knowledge to be able to build on something. So of course the traditional education should be reformed, but how, right? And everybody says artificial intelligence is something you need to learn, but how you want to include something that changes like every day into school system curriculum. There is a lot of bureaucracy, right? And it needs time to actually get something into curriculum of schools. And if that thing is changing, how you do that? So it's impossible, right? Because it's changing so fast. There are new AI tools every day. I don't want to say tool. People say artificial intelligence is not a tool, but I guess it's up to people to actually learn artificial intelligence, because it's so impossible to get it to be part of school curriculum. So it's up to us people to learn. There are many courses already happening online. And I can tell one other thing, that when AI came first to GPT, I remember Rehan Alavala posted on Facebook that they are conducting courses. So he invited people to learn about artificial intelligence and how to use it. And many people laughed at him, like, what is there to learn with ChatGPT? What is there to learn? There is just a window, you ask question and it gives you answers, right? And people were laughing, like, what you want to teach about that? And you can see now today it totally changed, and there is plenty to learn about artificial intelligence, how to use it wisely, how to develop critical thinking, which is needed to use it actually. So I think it will be up to these experimental schools and curriculums to fill that gap, because they can be more flexible than normal educational system. But still, normal educational system is good to teach kids how to write, foreign languages, some history, some geography, of course. Yeah. But it would be better if the kids didn't lose the curiosity to learn, right? So, so it could be performed different way, that whole education.
Miss Jana, there are so many people who say that there is no use of mathematics. Then why teachers uh, asked to study mathematics, solve problems? What do you say about this? Is there any use of mathematics, or it's just a waste of time?
It's important to learn mathematics. It's important to learn biology, geography, physics. It's very important to learn, but to some extent, right? One doesn't need to be like expert in English language or in mathematics. But the basics, of course, kids should learn, and they can say that, okay, this is something that interests me and I want to continue to study that. And some students may have talent for something else and they want to do something else. They want to be journalists, for example. Or I don't know, artists, or philosophers or historians. So to some extent, of course, it is, I think, important to learn everything at school, but you don't need to be like expert in every that field, only in what there is of your interest.
Problem solving enhances our brain, critical thinking. As we solve mathematical questions, it can also enhance our critical thinking, problem solving skills. I like maths.
Yeah,
Okay.
critical thinking is really something that you will need more and more, I think, because social media showed us that there is a lot of disinformation, misinformation. You need to understand the text, written text, which is surprising for me that many people are lacking. you know, really, like for me it was very easy to understand text reading, because I was reading so many books since I was young, that that it was easy for me. But other people maybe really cannot understand, like just understand some text, written text. And students to their young kids, they don't read much, right? They don't have the focus to read long articles because of social media, because of that addiction to short reels. And
Sure.
I don't say that social media is like completely something horrible, something bad, but surely it can be handled better. It can be, the algorithms can be much more useful. They can work to connect people rather divide people. So, and we all know that social media are programmed to create to earn money, not to actually connect people anymore. It changed since the beginning. So there is a useful certain pressure on companies owning the social media to change algorithms, so it doesn't damage people so much, and especially kids.
Yes, kids are very interested to watch shorts, but actually shorts are reducing their attention span. They didn't focus at anything.
Yes, and students, it just yeah, rewarding them, right? The shorts is like a dose of dopamine every
Dopamine.
3 seconds, and it's really addiction. So I'm glad that students at Rehan School, they really we make them we teach them to use social media other creative way, so they become real like digital creators rather than consumers of the content.
Okay, Miss, what communication skills do you think are most important in today's world?
Communication skills.
Yes.
um that's interesting question, like what communication skills, like which one. Because for example, I belong to generation uh, which was still using like letters, written letters, right? When I was young, we were sending letters to each other. So then the mobile scam came, and we started to text. We were texting, and now social media and TikTok with these short reels came, and I can see that young people, or this Gen Z, is communicating by these short videos. Even when, for example, my daughter sends me some videos supposed to be like fun, some joke, some prank, or something, and I already look for some information hidden in that video, some message, and I'm not able to find it. And it's my daughter that has to tell me, like, okay, so this means this and this means that, but I'm not able to get the message. So I wonder what kind of communication actually will be going on in future, because I have sometimes hard time to understand young generation and how they communicate through these short reels, videos. It's like different language. Really, that's really interesting. So maybe in future, 100 years from now, we will be communicated totally different way. So
Yes,
like
most probably.
for that we have to learn from youngsters.
Miss, what has been the most rewarding part of your career so far?
I wouldn't say that I have a career. I always found myself in some supportive role, and mm, so I'm not very ambitious person, so it's just mm, maybe a rewarding part is that other people can tell me that I was some of help to them, that I made them realize something. So of course that's the rewarding when other people um tell you that you said something, you encourage them, and they it just really helped them. That's probably the reward we all want, because we are social animals.
Social animals, yes. Okay. Miss, how do you maintain a healthy work-life balance?
It's something probably we need to be conscious about, right? That really, if I sit a whole day in front of the screen, that I know that I have to move sometimes from time to time, at least every 30 minutes, stand up and go for a walk a little bit, do something. My father is like an amazing example of that. He of course, he is retired, and he works in the garden. Then he comes home, he sits, he sleeps a little bit, then he stands up, and again he goes to do something, some work, and then comes back and rest again. So the scientists say that it's better to have this constant movement throughout the day, rather than just that you go once a week for 15 kilometers trip or walk, right? That it's better to rather move constantly during the day than just exercise once a week. So we have to be conscious about that. We have to just decide, okay, it's time to move. And people who actually have tiresome work, and they actually stand whole day, of course, that they need to find some other type of balance, relaxing, swimming maybe.
It gives energy. By exercising, we feel energetic.
Yeah, it's all about our brain is trying to our brain is actually managing our energy. It's our energy budget. So it always makes us to preserve our energy if possible.
Okay. Miss, what skills do you believe will be most valuable in the future workplace?
Can you repeat the beginning?
What skills do you believe will be most valuable in the future workplace?
What space will be the most valuable in the future workspace? I really don't know. With artificial intelligence, I don't know how the workspace will look like. They say artificial intelligence will take over uh, our jobs. Eventually, they took over all our jobs. So I really don't know how the future of a workspace will look like.
Okay. Lastly, Miss, what message would you like to share with the students and community of Rehan School?
Well, I always say that everyone is different, right? So everyone needs probably different kind of message. And as I don't know anyone, I need to be very general about that. For Rehan School vision is to build future leaders. So I just wish that we will create real good future leaders, because world needs them. So I hope our students will grow into amazing leaders, and they will just make the world better place for us and for future generation to live in.
Thank you, Jana, for taking the time to share your experience, insights, and advice with us. It has been a pleasure learning about your journey, and I am sure our audience has found this conversation both inspiring and informative.
Thank you also, Rafia. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. And to everyone watching, thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this interview, please like, share, and subscribe for more meaningful conversations with inspiring guests from around the world. Until next time, take care, keep learning, and stay inspired. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.